From 2011-12 to 2017-18, I built this company to 800 crores.
At what age did you make your first crore?
Making the first crore is the most difficult. You can't make a big money out of just earning salaries. After 100 crores, you just keep on adding zeros.
Top 3 skills a 20-year-old should have.
Without hard work, without commitment, and without a willing to succeed, you will not reach there. If they are thinking it is Monday to Friday job, please don't get into it. It's a 7-day job. It's a 24-hour job.
What's the most expensive thing you've bought?
गाड़ी बंगला ये तो आती रहेंगी जाती रहेंगी पैसा आता रहेगा जाता रहेगा.
If a 24-year-old is listening to us, what advice would you give them to make their first crore as fast as possible?
सबसे important is when they start thinking big, ये करोड़ 2 करोड़ सब भाव में आएगा.
Sir, what's the most amount of money you've made in a single year?
You are asking a difficult question to me.
Sir, at what age did you make your first crore?
Difficult to say, but let me tell you, making the first crore is the most difficult. Because that's one area where once you cross that, you see, we say making first crore is different than making that 100 crores. After 100 crores, you just keep on adding zeros. You see, making first crore, if you look from a salary perspective, it might be easier for people because that's the profits you make. But I would say making a big money takes time. So let's say you are doing your business and you say, I want to make 10 crores or 15 crores. That to create a valuation, you need to put a lot of effort into that business.
Right.
Making the first crore today isn't easier either through profits or through salaries, but building valuation in crores, that's a tough task. But I will say that still that first crore, it's difficult. You need to cross that barrier. Once you cross that barrier, then it is always 10 crores. Once you reach 10 crores, the next fundamental is 100 crores.
100 crores.
These 3 barriers are difficult. You need to put lot of efforts, put lot of commitment. But once you cross 100 crores, then you just start flow.
So how did you cross your 1 crore? Like, was it salary or business?
I would say a mix of profits and salaries.
Okay.
In terms of getting bonuses and salaries. So that was my first hitting that crore. I was very happy to see that my return going for 1 crore in terms of, and you are very proud and passionate to see that your return has gone and you have paid 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs of tax. It's also a proud moment. You should celebrate that. That okay, I'm a big taxpayer. I'm contributing to the country. People, until you don't see that way yourself, you will never think of 10 crores. You see, people say, मैंने 1 crore कमाया. अच्छा, मैं कहता हूँ, once you see that you are a big taxpayer, you start seeing yourself very differently.
Okay.
You feel more proud, more happy. Rather than मैंने 1 crore कमाया, मैंने कुछ tax नहीं दिया, then you still don't see. But you enjoy the most when you see you have paid 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs as a tax.
Right. Sir, what would you account or rather thank for the growth that you have had in your career?
It's a mix. Important thing is, you see, सबसे important is you have to be very clear what you want in life. If I'm wanting to do business, a lot of sacrifices are required. People do not say, but it's very important when a young entrepreneurs get into business, there's a lot of risk. And the family is part of it. And if you're married, your wife is part of it. So you need to give credit to her because she is equally taking a risk. Many business will work, some business will not work. But it's the family it contributes. So I'll say family support is very important for you to grow in business, number one. Number 2, you should be able to form a good team. People think I can alone run a job, I can alone do something for myself, but that's incorrect. It doesn't work at all. You see any great business, people have formed teams. You might not able to have the right team in the first place, that's fine. because you are also learning.
Right.
Today when you meet people, you get convinced, they get convinced, but during the journey you realize that these are not the right people. You should able to change that team in terms, and you should able to convince that why you are the not right fit to go along with me, or you
Right.
don't have the right vision. But the team plays a very important role. And third, I will say you should be very clear about your vision and your mission, what you want to do. Yes, commitment, passion, most important, hard work. I say every business people who wants to get entrepreneurs, if they are thinking it is Monday to Friday job, I'll say please don't get into it. It's a 7-day job. It's a 24-hour job. It's your,
Right.
वो आप कहते हैं ना, जितना आप गुड़ चीनी में डालेंगे उतना आपका मीठा बनेगा. It's a hard work. You have to toil. मतलब, yes, people hear stories that it has been very easy, but 90% you will hear stories that people have worked hard 24/7 to be there where they have been. And you look at any profession, you look at people in, you look at actors, you look at sports person, you go and see their life, the amount of toil they do. The amount they spend in the gym, the amount of the work they exercise, the amount they practice, and still they fail.
Right.
So why are we forgetting that hard work is not required in the business?
Right.
So I always say hard work is the most important thing, and people miss that, space that no, काम कर लेंगे, business आ गया, valuation मिल गई, but that's not the end of the story. That's just the beginning of the story.
Sir, what challenges did you face growing up? मैं सवाल क्यों पूछ रहा हूँ, because a 20-year-old today is on social media all the time and they compare themselves with the luxuries and the wins that other people have. So they demotivate and they feel कि यार मेरे पास ये चीज़ नहीं है, मेरे पास वो facility नहीं है. So did you face any challenges growing up, and what would your message be to a 20-year-old कि आपको किस तरह से tackle करना चाहिए इन सब चीज़ों को?
Very good question. You see, when you're building business or even if you're growing in life, challenges are there humongous. Our society, we tend to compare ourselves. आपका बच्चा पड़ोस से कंपेयर कर रहे हो, वो उसका बच्चा 90 नंबर लाया, आपका बच्चा 80 लाया. This has been, since young you are thrown into that.
Right.
But I will say, do not compare yourself. किसी का 80 नंबर आया, 70 है नंबर, that's not the comparison. The important thing is what you want to do. And you will still have the challenges. Are we willing to learn? The important thing is we are not willing to learn.
Right.
You see, as long as, if I would have a challenge, I would go and seek help. You see, earlier people would say, अगर मैं मदद मांगने जाता हूँ क्या सोचेगा मेरे बारे में. But help is a good word. I will tell to every person, every young person, help is a good word. Go and ask for help. Nothing wrong. Because if you didn't need help, you are a god. In any area you will find there's a problem, there's a deficiencies, you are a struggle, you are not understanding how to go. आप जब बच्चे थे, आपको अगर सवाल नहीं समझ आता था, आप क्या जाते? आप टीचर पर जाते थे. Why not same in the practical life? Go to your mentors. Go and meet people whom you think they can help you, they can guide you.
Right.
Don't some हार नहीं माननी. हम हार मान लेते हैं, या अच्छा यार नहीं हो सकता मेरे बारे. नहीं, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट यंग लोगों को हार नहीं माननी है. मैं सबसे हर कैंडिडेट बोलूँगा, everyone follow sports. What you learn in sports? Only two things, you win and lose. हर गेम में हर आदमी रोज नहीं जीतता.
राइट.
हर आदमी रोज नहीं हारता. हमारी लाइफ ऐसे है. हमें इससे सीखना चाहिए कि अब हमारी लाइफ एक स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन जैसे है. आज हम हार रहे हैं, कल हम जीत भी रहे हैं.
राइट.
हमें बट वी हैव टू बी कॉग्निसेंट ऑफ द फैक्ट कि अगर हम रोज जीत रहे हैं, कल हम हार भी सकते हैं. एंड वी शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट.
बट सर, देन हाउ डू यू स्टे लेवल? अगर आप एक दिन हार रहे हैं, एक दिन जीत रहे हैं, सो एज अ मेंटल स्टेट हाउ डू यू स्टे लेवल की विद द फैक्ट कि हाँ हार जीत लगी रहेगी, आई हैव टू स्टे ट्रू टू माई वर्क?
That's the level of balance you need to create. You need to motivate yourself. You see, we do not talk to ourselves. हम अपने आप से बात नहीं करते.
राइट.
हाँ, आज की डेट में You see, I'll tell you, I remember one of the interview of Mr. Dhoni, where as a captain, he says, what is your biggest learning? He says, when I win, I learn. When I lose, also I learn. So same thing. When I'm winning, you should always think what what I can do better, how I can build more better business. And when you have lost something, learn from why did you lose this. When you are learning, that motivates you. अच्छा कल मैं इसको अच्छा कर सकूंगा. Same thing is in business. You lose some customer, you win some customers. When you lost a customer, try to analyze why did you lose that customer. What thing did not work in that customer, or what in the same thing when you won a customer, what I can do better to this customer, retain customer and get more business.
Right.
So we also need to think in that same fashion again and again and again and again. Business is not that one day you start a shop and it ends. The shopkeeper, you see, they need more and more customer, daily and daily customers. So same thing is about that.
Right.
Today you are talking to me, tomorrow you want to talk to someone else. But do you think your story will end here? No.
Right.
I will learn something from you today and go. You might learn something from me. But when we have learned, are we adopting it or not? That's the key. Today the young crowd learns, but they don't adopt. You see, we call execution. What is execution? आज मैंने कुछ सीखा, I put an effect. So I take a talk of a cricket. When a coach says, भैया आपने बैटिंग ऐसे करना, that person is taught भी आप सीधा ऐसे स्ट्रेट बैट से घंटों खेलते रहो. Why?
ताकि वो नेचुरल हो जाए वो चीज़.
Natural हो जाए. So same thing in terms of if you want to do anything in life, you want to become a singer, you want to become a dancer, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a comedian, you have to do that hard work and practice again and again. Be motivated, learn from your mistakes, learn from your failures, learn from your success. Problem is people don't learn from your success.
Right. Even I have that problem, sir. But sir, मैंने आपके इस आंसर से एक चीज़ सीखी कि people are missing out on real life experiences. They are missing out on meeting new people to learn from them. अभी हमारा नेटवर्किंग हो चुका है फ़ोन पे कन्फाइंड. इंस्टाग्राम पे किसी को देख लिया, व्हाट्सएप कॉल कर लिया, व्हाट्सएप टेक्स्ट कर लिया. बट व्हेन यू मीट समवन इन पर्सन, तो आप उनसे बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं.
Absolutely.
Which I feel people are missing these days.
This is a sad story of social media and a sad story of video. People think I can start a video and talk. Today, why should one meet each other? One thing we understand from the body language. Let's say I am talking to you on video and you can't see my eye movement, you can't see my body language.
Right.
And I'm showing a lot of interest to you. You feel something is betting wonder. But ultimately, when you're sitting face to face, you can understand from my body language, am I interested what you're trying to talk or not trying to talk? Am I showing interest? So, but you need to spend effort. We always try to find shortcuts. Actually, business happens not on videos, but meeting each other. You share your thought. You know each other. You see what one is trying to wear, how one eats, and when you meet, you share many other things.
Right.
In a video, you spend, let me have 10 minutes and the call ends. But when you meet, and let's say you are meeting me in Starbucks, you're going to Starbucks, you might meet even more people.
Right.
Why? So today people are thinking networking is all about social media on a video. No. Networking is meeting one-to-one or one-to-many and physically.
Right.
People should not forget that. And there I say, how much time are you investing in yourself?
Take me back to the time you met your life partner. Why I ask this question is because in today's time we often neglect the fact कि marriage भी एक part है हमारी life का. We feel कि शादी बाद में करेंगे when we are 30, 32. Some feel कि पहले करेंगे. बट दोनों के अपने प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं. तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस जानना है मुझे.
हाँ, मेरा इसमें भी बड़ा डिफरेंट है. आदमी शादी को तनख्वाह से अपने कैरियर से लिंक करता है. मैं कहता कभी नहीं लिंक करना चाहिए.
ओके.
आप शादी किस लिए करना चाहते हैं? शादी इज ऑल अबाउट हैविंग ए लाइफ पार्टनर. यू सी, लाइफ पार्टनर, you trust her, you share every Tom, Dick and Harry, even you may not share with your parents or with your friends and sister. So marriage is a very wonderful relationship. And I say you need to be mature, be of a reasonable age.
Right.
find a life partner not through beauty but beauty of brains. You should be able to talk to her, express to her, she should be able to express to her, because a life partner could make and break your career also. So if for me, my life partner has been very instrumental in building my career. She's also a chartered accountant.
Okay.
We had an arranged marriage, but no one believed it because being both chartered accountant. But because she had good brains, she understood what I was trying to tell her, what was my vision. So she always supported me. वही जाके जा जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. If you have, she says, if you have a vision, why not give it a try? Yes, failure would be the, but until you don't try,
Correct.
you will not know the taste about it, or you will always feel, yeah, I should have done it. Better do it in terms. But I would say, I keep on telling every young people, I hear a lot many people, यार मेरी तनख्वाह 2 लाख होगी मैं तब शादी करूँगा. I'll say, every people don't do that blunder. Right age is 27, 28, whatever age. Get a lifetime girl for you,
Right.
whom you like, you can express, marry, because that's all the time to enjoy your life. Every age is there to enjoy.
Right.
In terms of where you can express, you can go out, you can dance. Why do you want to leave it? भगवान ने तो ये उम्र बनाई उसी लिए है.
Right. Right. So, sir, how did you decide to start CardByte?
CardByte is a very passionate product, or what's a very passionate business for mine. This is a learning from my 18 years of my business.
Okay.
You see, what is CardByte? CardByte is a contact management and a networking platform. So in my business, when I was growing, I came to 800 crores. And I had now next charter, okay, in 4-5 years, you need to be a 1500 crores. You see, you have to go back to the drawing board to understand. So, because we had around 1,000 customers, and now you can't say, okay, now will have 2,000 customers. So I hired an IM guy from Rohtak and made him my business assistant, and asked him, let's analyze my customers in terms of. And then I realized that out of 1,000, I had 100 large customers and 900 long tail. Okay, so that was one learning. Number two, I asked him, let's see whom are we connecting within an organization. Today, you see, people, who is a customer? Customer, is it the name of the company? Let's say it's a Siemens or Airtel.
Right.
Is that a customer? Or the people within those who are working, is that your customer? Actually, the customer is the people working within Airtel or Siemens or XYZ.
Right.
So I told, let's do an analysis. And I realized in the CRM, we had very limited information.
Okay.
Some one or two of the decision maker. Let I had an ex-customer, the CEO, the CFO, the CIO. What about the influencer in the whole industry? Okay. Then I had a team, a pre-sales team. I had a delivery team. I had a support team. I had an inside sales team. So I realized these people are meeting all different set of the people. Where is that whole data? And I realized that data was nowhere in the CRM.
Right.
So I came to that there has to, until digitization doesn't happen, so it holds data. And automatically this can be shifted to the CRM or can go to there. It will not make sense. And today I also realized within my organization, I realized if I had 1,000 customers, but within my organization, I had 5,000 customers. 4,000 कस्टमर का डाटा विजिबल ही नहीं था.
Right.
कार्ड्स में था, कहाँ पड़ा, क्या पड़ा, नहीं पड़ा. So I told something had to be automated.
What do you think are top 3 skills a 20-year-old should have in order to become a successful entrepreneur?
First thing, you should know the selling skills. You see, business is very simple. बेचना है सबसे पहले, या कुछ खरीदोगे या कुछ बनाओगे और उसको बेचना है.
Right.
जब तक आप उसको बेच नहीं पाओगे तो आपका बिजनेस तो है नहीं. अनफॉर्चुनेटली सेलिंग स्किल्स कोई कॉलेज नहीं सिखाता, कोई MBA स्कूल नहीं सिखाता, कोई स्कूल नहीं सिखाता. आपको सीखना पड़ेगा. बट मैं कहता हूं एवरी पर्सन ऑन दिस अर्थ नोज द सेलिंग स्किल. वो कुछ अपने माँ बाप को बेच रहा है, कुछ अपनी सहेली को बेच रहा है, पता उसको सब कुछ है कैसे मैंने बेचना है, because he's trying to buy something out. ठीक है, he's trying to convince his parents. If he's trying to convince his parents, what does it mean? He's trying to sell something.
Right.
So there's that flair is somewhere in the heart or in the mind, but it has to be brought.
Right.
Selling is all about storytelling. Number one. Number two is hard work. There's no other way out.
Right.
इसे मैं 5 घंटे में करके ठीक है, people do say that I work for 5, but you have to understand they have reached that stage. They are working 5 hours, but they have a team who is managing the whole show for them.
Right.
Let's not forget. Let's say you are an individual. You don't have a team. You have to do everything yourself.
Right.
Once you tomorrow build a 100 crore business, you will have 100 people working for you. Then you will say, मुझे तो सिर्फ 5 घंटे चाहिए, because other people.
Right.
Third important thing is for you need to learn to wash your own dirty linen. देखो, जब आप छोटा बिजनेस हो, यू नीड टू नो अकाउंट्स कैसे करना है, मुझे ऑपरेशंस कैसे करना है, मुझे डिलीवरी कैसे करना है, मुझे सारे काम करने हैं. मुझे ऑफिस की सफाई भी करनी है.
Right.
जब मैं ग्रो कर रहा हूं, एंड व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड, आई स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम वन रूम. I would go and I still go and prepare my own tea. So you need to be as low as that to the ground level. That you have to be very clear. मुझे सब काम पहले करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. Tomorrow you might become 1,000 crore and you have got 10 people to serve you and open the door of the car. That's fine. But presently you need to learn to do everything yourself. If you are not prepared, don't enter into business. Like you see, you are doing the camera changes, you're doing your laptop. Let's say if tomorrow you are a 100 crore company, will you do this? You'll have people to do it for you. But today, and last most important, when you do this, you learn everything in the business.
Right.
Tomorrow, when you have done operations and your operation heads come and talk you something, you know he can't make fool of you.
Right.
Because you have learned on the ground. You know what is happening in accounting. You know what is doing in GST. You know what is income tax. You know what it takes to the delivery. You know what it takes to customer satisfaction.
Right.
So when you build yourself and you're managing a team, you know when your team is coming and talking to you, are they making sense or not making sense?
Basically, you should have that vision of being at a stage in future of your life, but that has a journey.
That has a
आपको वो steps पूरे करने पड़ेंगे.
Absolutely.
If you're not ready to do that, then you cannot reach there.
You have to go by stairs. You don't think you're going to get the lift.
Right. That makes sense.
And when you have to go by stairs, it's hard.
It is.
सांस फूलता है.
How has your day evolved since when you started to where you are today? I'm sure you have grown your team. तो आपका daily work कैसे update हुआ, change हुआ है?
You see, when I was as a young entrepreneur, lot of time would go on day-to-day operations, small, because everything I had to manage. I had to get worried in terms of once you start building a team. And you see, over a period of time, your priorities change. Initially, when you're building a business, you say, okay, let me build this business with that. When you realize you build a business from a 0 to 10 crores, you need a team.
Right.
Now, you will not able to get a team of a 500 crore company or 100 crore. You will have a team of 15-20 crores. Now from 15-20 crores, you have received 50 crores. The team size, the team thought process, the team level changes again. At every time you learn how to manage those team.
Right.
A person from 0 to 10 may not able to take you 10 to 50. And a 50 may not able to take to 50 to 100. But the important thing, you also have to evolve. Today, I need to evolve to learn to manage. So the priority changes. Earlier, when I was 0 to 10, I was doing everything myself. I had people to support me.
Right.
I'm using the word people to support me. Between 10 to 20 people, I had people supporting and delegating to some responsibility. Both delegated. But when I started from 50 journey, I had 80% where I had delegated responsibilities.
Right.
I was managing. You know, and managing is not easy. It's tough. But your focus was on managing your teams, thinking about the business strategy. आज मैं 50 में 100 crore. When you became 250 crores, again your thought process changed.
Right.
Now you are more thinking strategically, because now you have a leadership team who is managing also.
Right. Right.
When you're thinking strategy, you're thinking how to grow business, how to bring more value to business, what type of customer should I acquire, what type of product should I be selling. Now you're thinking differently.
Right.
So your journey evolves. And the biggest learning what I had is, if I was not learning, I would not be have reached that place. Every time it was a learning, either reading through some books, going to mentors. I was not at all shameful going and talking to people that this is not working, or these things are not working, what I should do differently, or what I can do much more better. Even when I had a joint venture, I would go on and talk to my senior mentors overseas. What should I do differently, or what I can learn from you? Because if you don't ask questions, people will not know that you need to be taught something.
Right.
And I always had it. I was not shameful that I, or saying why should I. I felt if I'm not asking the right questions, I will not get the right answers.
Right.
Even if they're hard, even if I don't like them. You see, if I have asked you a question, I should be prepared whether the answer is to my likable or not.
Right.
People, what do you know? Youngsters have a problem. If I have asked a question, I need the answer to my satisfaction.
Right.
And to the young crowd, I would say, ask a hard question. If the answer doesn't suits you, you feel that no, this is not the answer, but accept the facts. Tell that person to tell the truth, rather than just trying to convince me, nahi, ye sab theek ho jayega. Because you need to know facts.
Right.
And once you start realizing that these are the facts, you will go back to your drawing board and able to judge yourself much more better.
It's like if you're a doctor, right? अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है बीमारी क्या है, then how will you operate? So you have to know the facts, the shortcomings you have in yourself. Only then you can work harder.
I totally agree with you. I'm a patient. I've gone to a doctor. वो बोलता कल मुझे कैंसर है. मैं कहूँ मुझे कैंसर नहीं है, तो डॉक्टर कुछ नहीं कर सकता.
Right.
I have to accept and go for the treatment. So where you are looking for a feedback, where you're looking for a mentoring, you need to accept that tell to the mentor, tell me the truth.
Right.
Tell me the hard facts. Whether I like it or don't like it, that's none of your business.
Right.
There, if people start adopting this, I will tell you, believe it, you're on your road towards success.
So you mentioned being able to sell is the number one skill to run a business. Now, two questions here. One is, how can someone learn that? And second, how can someone draw a line between becoming too salesy and doing sales for the right purpose of it?
In the society or in daily life, wherever you are going, you're learning sales. Let's say today you've gone to a shopping, you're learning from the salesperson. But problem is, you don't think that way. I tell people, when you walk into a good garment store, you will not realize that garment store guy is asking you some questions. आपको क्या पसंद है, कैसे तरह का पसंद है? Because he is gathering that information, then suddenly he'll open this pullover, this shirt, what you like.
Right.
What is he trying to do? He's trying to do the sales. He is asking you the right questions. So when you are trying to do any sales, sale is not just going and telling, मैं सर ये करता हूँ. Sales is all about asking the right question to your customer. You see, if someone has to come and sell, let me come and sell me a laptop. I need a laptop. But he comes, if he's trying to sell me something unique laptop, he needs to ask me right questions. If he comes and says, sir, मैं laptop बेचता हूँ, यार मैं तो मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मैंने ले रखा है. But if he starts coming and asking, sir, what challenges are you facing towards in terms of your day-to-day work? How efficient is your laptop? What type of softwares are you using?
Right.
So you have to start having that right conversation. And if you see, that conversation is happening in day-to-day life. Today you go and buy a car, you buy a shop, you meet each other friends, you are trying to sell each other. So selling, you learn with experience. You learn practically. Important in sales, you need patience. You see, one is a retail sale.
Right.
But in a business, it's a lot of B2B sale. You need to go to business. I say, if you want to also be a part of sales, you need to have patience. You might walk into a customer. He might say, sir, 10 minute ruko. You might, and he has asked you to wait for 1 hour. You can't just walk out.
Right.
He's a customer. Although you might say, sir, he's not being professional. That's fine. You need to have that patience. You do not know what problem he is having. It's not that he doesn't want to attend you. He might be having some problem, or certainly a new priority came, he's not able to attend you.
Right.
But you need to have that patience. One. Number two, you need to articulate what you want to sell. And you'll have to learn practically going to customers only. That's the way. Or you have people around you who are good in sales, or you go and meet people who are good in sales and ask them what I need to learn more in sales. You need to have conversation with those people. So some coaching, some amount of mentorship, it starts, and you will learn only once you hit the ground. You see, if you, let's say, आज मुझे कोच ने सिखा दिया, अगर मैं पिच पे नहीं हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता लगेगा, एंड पिच पे मुझे नहीं पता लगेगा ये फास्ट बॉल फेंकेगा, बाउंसर फेंकेगा. The coach expects you there to take a judgment. Same thing when I'm trying to mentor you or coach you on sales, I do not know what questions you will have, but I need to prepare myself.
Right.
So when I need to prepare myself, I need to understand what I'm trying to sell, what I'm trying to communicate, and I need to prepare what the customer will ask me.
Sir, what are some key principles or values that you follow personally in your life on a daily basis?
Be honest to yourself. Most important. People are not honest to themselves. If I stand on the mirror and I see him, I might say I'm a Shah Rukh Khan, but you are not actually. So first thing is, be honest to yourself. Important is. Other thing is, in a business, you need to trust. So, I feel in India, the bigger problem is you don't trust people, but you need to trust. Without trust, let's say if I have a team and I don't trust, मैं तो शक करके रात को सोना बंद हो जाएगा. I need to learn to trust people.
Right.
ठीक है. You might say that half of the people are not trustworthy. That's fine. After all, you need to go home and have a good sleep also.
Right.
And last, I will say again, hard work. You need to be hard work. You need to be committed to yourself.
Right.
And I always tell to the young people, although I'm quite old and still I don't believe, accept challenges, never fear from failures. हम क्या है, जो एक यंग क्राउड जो एक अपने आप को ब्रेक नहीं कर पाता है जब वो कॉलेज से जाता है. कॉलेज में क्या है कि हमेशा एक टीचर है, पास फेल हो गया, उसको कोई ना कोई कुछ बता रहा है, बट जब वो इस जर्नी से प्रैक्टिकल जर्नी में आ गया है, he has to realize there is no one to tell him that. He has to learn to swim.
Right.
He has been now thrown in the ocean. In ocean, you have shark, you have small fishes, you have to learn to swim. Important is, lot many people do not get disconnected from that, from the learning and theory to a practical.
Right.
मैंने तो ये सीखा, मैं यही करूँगा, but वो practical में नहीं चल रहा है.
Right.
And that's time I say people need mentors. Go to anyone. It's not that कि भी मुझे एक chartered accountant mentor चाहिए. Go to anyone. Go to any senior person who has experience in life.
Right.
I'm sure his experience can help anyone in life in terms of. But be serious with your life. Invest in yourself. Don't spend your major part of the day on social handle. I'll give you a very small example. Take a minute.
Right.
If you see today, we have 24 hours. 8 घंटे सो जाते हैं. आप मान लीजिए अगर मैं कॉलेज भी जाता हूँ 8 घंटे, 16 घंटे निकल गए, 3 घंटे कम्यूटिंग में, कितने घंटे रह गए? और उसमें से मैंने 5 घंटे मैंने अगर सोशल हैंडल में डाल दिया, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ?
Right.
As long as that 5 hours is productive in your life, do it. If they are not, I will say, why don't you, if you want to be a singer, why don't you spend that 5 years in practicing? If you are a sportsman, why don't you spend that 5 hours in practicing?
Right.
If you are wanting to be a book writer, why don't you read books? If you are an entrepreneur, why don't you spend that 5 hours in networking, meeting people?
Right.
You see, after all, we young have a good common sense. We need to understand what is good for ourselves. Beyond a point, no one will come and say. It's good to go to the YouTubes and channels and see a lot of fun. But the questions you need to ask yourself, is this helping you
Right.
in your career, in your growth for young people, in whatever manner? If yes, spend 24 hours. If no, stop it.
Sir, a fun question here. What's the most expensive thing you've bought so far?
Not many things. I think so. I bought my dream house.
Okay.
In terms of when I started my journey, I was very clear where I wanted to buy my dream house. So I
Okay.
could buy that.
Okay.
And otherwise, you see, for me, luxuries never mattered. They are, part of parcel of life.
Right.
For me, it was, doing something big, and I always thought, when lot many other could do, why could I do it? मेरे में क्या कमी है? And realize कोई कमी नहीं है. And I then went and studied people like Infosys or HCL, or you look at, they worked, they toiled hard. Don't compare yourself to their present. Go and learn from their past when they started their journey. And go and learn कि उन्होंने जब गैरेज में किया, वो लैपटॉप इतने बड़े खुद उठाते थे. आज आप क्यों सोचते हो कि वो अरबों रुपए? आज से उनको कंपेयर नहीं करो, उनको उनकी सीखो जब वो शुरू किया था. आज इन्फोसिस ने जब उन्होंने गैरेज में 5 लोगों ने शुरू किया था और क्या मेहनत की थी, उनसे सीखना हमने. और सीख ये मिली, विदाउट हार्ड वर्क, विदाउट कमिटमेंट एंड विदाउट a willing to succeed, you will not reach there. And that's what I learned. कि मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी अगर मुझे कहीं पहुंचना है. And I read or studied, I studied their earlier part of journey. And I'm answering your question which you asked, that people see कि वो वहां पहुंच गया, मैं नहीं है. क्योंकि हम आज की लेवल में उनको कंपेयर करें. आज मुझे कोई कंपेयर करेगा, अच्छा नवीन जी आप तो वहां पहुंच गए, बट कोई ये नहीं जानता 20 साल पहले मैंने क्या किया. आई स्टार्टेड इन एग्जैक्टली दिस बिग रूम. दिस वाज माय रूम वेयर आई स्टार्टेड. वी वर 8 पीपल सिटिंग इन दिस रूम. उससे अगर, बिकॉज दैट्स द वे यू डू, एवरीवन डू, यू आर आल्सो डूइंग इट फ्रॉम हियर. सो दैट्स द इंपॉर्टेंट, द रूट. You need to be grounded and you need to understand, yes, सक्सेस आएगी, झक मार के आएगी. मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, कमिटमेंट चाहिए अपने आप से. वो है ना, एक बार मैंने अपने आप से कमिटमेंट कर दिया तो वो कमिटमेंट चाहिए, पैशन चाहिए. ठीक है, गिरोगे फिर उठ जाओ, गिरोगे फिर उठ जाओ. हम पॉलिटिशियंस ये सीखना चाहिए. हारते हैं फिर लड़ते हैं, हारते हैं फिर लड़ते हैं, बट कभी कभी जीत के भी तो आते हैं. हमारा भी यही है.
If I'm not wrong, you have to drive a Lexus.
Yes.
I want to understand how does that feel? 20-year-old's perspective, they feel कि यार ये गाड़ी आ जाए, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. ये फ़ोन आ जाए, ये घर आ जाए, फिर सब हो जाएगा. तो does that happen, like having money, having things, does that bring a sense of peace, a sense of accomplishment in your life?
Yes and no. You see, आज मैंने गाड़ी खरीद ली, उसको मेंटेन भी तो करनी है, पेट्रोल भी तो डालना है. उसके लिए क्या करोगे आप?
काम करोगे.
ये तो अकम्प्लिश है. ठीक है, ये तो एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है आपके लिए. आज गाड़ी तो एक है, ठीक है, गाड़ी है. आज जिसके पास 5,000 करोड़, उसके पास एयरप्लेन है. बट दैट इज हिज मोड ऑफ going for business, right. A facility to do business, faster business. आपको ultimately satisfaction तब मिलती है when your name is known, you are known in the market, someone recognizes you, when you're standing somewhere, oh, this is the guy,
right.
That's the kick what you want in life.
Hmm.
Today you'll pick up any famous person. He does not get satisfaction from going in the luxury car, but the satisfaction when he's sitting in the crowd and someone tells, "Oh, you are the guy. Can I have your autograph?
Right.
Oh, sir, I know you. I want to talk to you."
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the kick you want
That's
in
the
life.
best feeling.
That's the best way.
Ultimately, everyone works for that.
Works for that. You see, even today your parents longs for you to see. आज मेरा बेटा वहाँ टीवी में दिखा, वो दिखा, belongs for that in terms of. So I think so. That's the most important people should look at. And that collateral once comes in, it's a long collateral. You have to maintain it.
Right.
गाड़ी बंगला ये तो आती रहेंगी जाती रहेंगी, पैसा आता रहेगा जाता रहेगा. But what you earn from today, you look at any bigger entrepreneur or entrepreneur, you look at Narayan Murthy or Shiv Nadar or Asim Premji. Today you don't see the car, but
Right.
you see where they have reached. If you meet them, you would want to spend time with them.
Right.
Take some tips. You'll say, "Sir, can I know something from you guy?"
Right.
So the young should aspire that, but it will take time.
Right.
It's not going to happen in a day.
Sir, if a 20 to 24-year-old is listening to us, what advice would you give them to make their first crore as fast as possible?
You see, this is a misconception कि मुझे एक पहले करोड़ बनाना है. आप सोचो, मैं एक बिजनेस लॉन्ग टर्म क्या बनाना चाहता हूँ. मेरा पहला करोड़ रेवेन्यू कहाँ से आ रहा है, और मेरा 5 साल में 50 करोड़ या 10 करोड़ रेवेन्यू कैसे आएगा. जब आप ये सोचना लग जाएगा, बाकी तो सारा. You see, today in business, what do you count? Your revenues, your profits. Others are all ancillary.
Right.
So I think so people are asking the wrong question. When I should say, people should say, how do I build my revenues? How do I keep on building my revenues? Because that's how the business gets built. Revenues is all about sale. अगर revenue है तो business नहीं है.
Right.
Profitability again will depend on that. So the more bigger business you make, the more number of crores you make. So I think so people should, the younger generation should look, how do I build a business of 1 crore or a 5 crores or a 10 crore? You see, you look at various businesses. Sometimes you have a normal coffee shop, and you have a Starbucks. It was huge. Or you had a coffee day. So I think so people who, even if you're wanting to get into as basic as getting into food business, restaurant, they should think big.
Right.
And when they start thinking big, ये करोड़ 2 करोड़ सब भाव में आएगा.
Sir, where do you see opportunity to build a business in the coming future?
What's business? Today, let's look at the best of the biggest industrialists. They have always been a follower. They've never been, in a disruptive industry.
Right.
Even you look at Ambani's, they came into Jio when the whole telecom industry was mature. But they had a business thought process, the vision कि इसको हम बड़ा कैसे बना सकते हैं.
Interesting.
They didn't get into drones कि हम इतनी research करेंगे.
Interesting.
They got into Reliance Retail. Reliance Retail was not new.
Right.
Amazon was there, everyone knew. So today, entrepreneurship can be anything. You can open a restaurant. You can in restaurants, or you can be a musician party, or the same thing. What are you doing in the podcast?
Right.
Business is something what you like and what you can translate into a business model.
Sir, a tricky question here. How can a young person today watching this video, after watching this video, start their journey to reach the net worth of $1 billion?
It's a really a tricky question. Today, businesses are valued on the balance sheet. Agreed?
Right.
Now, people need to understand that if they need to business, their business needs to have either a tangible asset, which is a balance sheet, or an intangible. What is intangible? Brand,
Hmm.
which is a very long-term strategy. To build a brand, you need to invest a lot of money, advertisement, people should know you.
Right.
And if someone wants to build net worth and something very fast, he should think of something, a unique idea where no one less people are much doing it. You see, if you see lot many business has been bought in an early stage because no one was doing it. Let's look at WhatsApp.
Yeah.
When WhatsApp was acquired for 17 billion, no one knew what they were doing. Something unique idea. Which you are the first one to do, which is required with a larger amount of society, or some segment of society is required. Where you formed a unique idea, you took it from an inception stage to a small germinating stage, and then there are people who realize, oh, this is a wonderful idea, we should have done it. And then when they come and see, and then say, oh, although you might have spent 2 crores, but this is worth 200 crores.
Right.
So the young people can think. You should think. You don't think that this is a silly thought. Think as silly, think as disruptive. You might not realize that this might be one of the very brilliant idea.
Right.
In terms of, you see, like no one would thought that garbage recycling is such a big business.
Right.
Today it's become a huge business in terms. So today the business is all around. You need to watch your society. You need how your society is moving. What the problem in a society, and if you can solve some problem of a society, maybe you are having some unique idea.
Right.
But building that net worth will always compromise are two things: tangible and intangible. Intangible is all about brand. It takes a lot of time until you have a unique idea. Or tangible, that's all about how you build a financial statement.
So what are your top 3 book recommendations?
Number 1, I'll always say people to read Gita.
Okay.
The reason is, I still remember in my heydays, I went to one of a coach lecturer, and he says that he became a coach when he read Gita, and he realized that Lord Krishna in that Gita has told how to even manage your businesses. But you need to go deep and understand in terms of. And if you understand Gita, he says, so I would tell people, read Gita not once, again and again and again. Number 2, I would say, read books which are relevant to your businesses. You will get books, how to sell, how to do. Those are books you can read. But over a period of time, I will always say, when you're building business and you're in a mid-size, read good to great.
Okay.
It teaches you what is the difference between being a good manager and a great manager. And that's very, very important when you're building a business. And I will give this message: if you have to build your business, you don't have to be a good manager. You have to be a great manager. A great manager takes the right decision in spite of how good or how ugly or what adverse effect. But they will take a decision which will based on the long term of an organization. If the organization is healthy, employees are healthy.
Right.
If the organization is not healthy, so that's the difference. Third, I would say there are many books. I will say read relevant to your
Right.
best of the coaches or best of the people industry. Don't read books which misguide you. You see, let's say you are today in a podcast. Read books who have been the best people in this industry.
Right.
What challenges did they face? Important. I always tell people, when you read books, start marking the lines which you feel are important, relevant to you. Because you see, once you read the book, you read like a story.
Right.
But next time when you read, you try to find what is relevant to you.
Right.
And that's time when you have ticked something, you will go back and say, why did I tick this? And how relevant is to my business, or how relevant is to individual, to me. Sometimes you don't read books for your entrepreneurship, but you read books because you want to become a good man. You want to become a different man. You are trying to find yourself in terms of. So it really depends. Right. But I always say, I have read couple of books. First time it gone different. Second time it is given me a different thought, and third time it is given a very different perspective. So always, you see, once you are reading a story book, that's different. But if you are trying to read management books, or books which are relevant for you from your career, for your growth, or even for your individual, Sam, you will have to read that books 2 times, 3 times to understand and inculcate what you want.
Right. Quickly, sir, what's your biggest learning from the Gita?
How to be shrewd in business. देखो गीता ने कहा है कि आप देखो कईयों में उन्होंने कहा है कि आई एम नॉट रिमेम्बरिंग रेलिवेंट एरिया इफ यू रिमेम्बर लॉर्ड कृष्ण एट सम प्लेस ही हैड टोल्ड दैट sometimes you have to take decisions which are hard decisions, which may not be relevant or maybe not be, what you say, pleasing to everyone in terms of, and so you need to take that hard decision with a level head of mind, understanding. Number 2, he told what are the very hierarchies of the management. And each hierarchy has to be treated differently. You see, if I have a vice president, I have to know how I have to have a conversation with him.
Right.
If it is a manager senior, I have to have a different conversation. Executive, a different conversation. A worker, a different conversation. You need to understand what type of conversation, the way you have to be conversation.
Right.
In terms of, आप एक सीनियर बंदे को उठा के सिर्फ डांट नहीं सकते.
Yes.
अगर उसको डांटना भी है आपको उसको डिफरेंटली सीखना है. सो गीता इज क्वाइट वाइड एंड वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अडैप्ट. It's not so easy. As word 4-letter word Gita, it's very difficult to adapt in terms of, but I tell people should keep on reading again and again. Even if you pick up 2-3 good points and you can adapt yourself, it could make wonders to you.
Sir, where do you stand on hard work versus luck?
You need both. You need luck. I will not say you don't need luck. Luck is an important factor. But वो कई बार होता ना कि आप अगर मेहनत करते हो, भगवान भी एक टाइम कहता है भैया इस बंदा इतना मेहनत कर रहा है, इसको तो अब देना बनता है. Luck is an important factor, no doubt about it. But don't put your failures on luck.
Interesting.
हम कहते फेल हो गए यार, मेरी तकदीर खराब थी, मैं फेल हो गया. नहीं, don't put your failures on the luck.
Interesting.
Explore, review your failures. Maybe you might realize you have not done enough hard work. You see what happens specifically in the young crowd. मैं फेल हो गया, मेरी तकदीर खराब थी. नहीं, maybe. But don't blame to that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Naveen sir, for coming down to the studio, sharing your experience, insights. I loved it. And I hope the audience enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.